tap into Johnson Lake. And if you not, it's about as wide as a school bus. It goes back for miles, but that's it. This is it. The opening. At the narrow choke point, it's about 60 feet, 70 feet across at high tide. So low tide, it's got to be a trickle. And it opens into this huge bay that's about half a mile across. Now, maybe a quarter mile across and 3/4 of a mile long. And out at that end is, around the corner is Johnson Lake. Here I am at the mouth of Johnson Lake. And there's a yacht over there. I don't know, a yacht or ship of some type. Check that out. That's some ship from years ago. Ran aground here and just rotted here. There's a series of rocks, about 13 feet deep right here. And I'm heading into this river mouth. It's pretty wide for an Alaskan river mouth, quite a channel. And there's a lot of splashing going on up around the corner. I think it's probably seals hitting salmon. We'll find out in a minute. Alright, it's really shallow in here. Anywhere from about 8 feet to 3 feet. But it's a pretty smooth bottom, not a lot of rocks. And no seals to speak of, a lot of salmon jumping. Oh, huge schools of them going by. They're probably, there's a chum. Looks like chum and humpies. Maybe the sockeye are already in there, I don't know. Probably not, they're probably all mixed up. Like the Keegan. Fish and no large mammals I can see. Perfect shoreline for bears, a lot of grass, but it'd be a good place to camp as well. The bears let me in. Well, here's Johnson Lake, Johnson Creek set up. No cabin, no development here, just a wrecked shipwreck from 40 years ago. And it's obviously very low tide right now. Tide's down about 10 feet already. And the main outflow to the lake doesn't seem very big, so when this all fills in, this will be tidal delta. We got those strainers to worry about, but to tell you the truth, they're not any worse than what I passed at Keegan Lake. Up there I see some pools, probably hold some nice rainbow fishing, and looks like meadows and stuff. So a very different setup. It actually looks like I could paddle quite a ways up this lake at this point, unless I come across some serious elevation gain. But I'm gonna hang out here for the next 6-7 hours, just find a little campsite up in the grass and wait for the tide to come up and do the work for me, because I don't need to drag it. I got time. I can catch all the salmon I want to play with down there until my arms fall off, and hike upstream a couple 100 yards and catch all the rainbows I want. So I'm here for the day. Oh, horrible shot. I just scared a bear away. He was coming down from my kayak. Maybe he smelled the food. All you have to do is yell and raise your arms and they hit the trail running. He was a little guy, about 100 pounds. He hit the highway fast, took off, back home to mommy. Startled me a little bit. I'm packing up. Had a nice long snooze. Now the tide's pushing. I gotta move. I'm out here sleeping in the flats because I wanted to have a little bit of room so all the bears could see me when they came out of the woods. And it seems to have worked because I didn't get mauled in my sleep. So heading upstream and just up where those logs crisscross over. There's a bear and he just picked a salmon out about 15 minutes ago. Went back into the woods and had himself some snack. And now he's back. He's underneath those logs. Difficult to see. Not interested in me at all. He's interested in salmon. He's interested in getting another salmon, going back and continuing his meal, layering on the fat. Winter's coming in another month or two. So it's just out here on the tidal flats rather than up there in the grass, so that everybody knows, everybody meaning every bear around knows that I'm here and I'm present and I'm not a threat. I'm not hiding somewhere or taking up some of their space. So that's my strategy to survive in bear world. Alright, quite a bit of tides moved up. You see those trees that were blocking across the river? They're now behind me. Tides come up about 10 feet in the last few hours. I don't think the tide's going to get over this little spill fall here. This might be the natural weir that keeps the salt from the fresh. So it might be on my own from here, and it's about a mile up to the lake. It might be a chore for tomorrow. I might just camp up there on the grass, and it's not going to make a difference whether I go tonight, and I'm perfectly content to work these pools for little rainbows and stuff for a while and do the portage tomorrow. Alright, so here it looks like river only. There's a lot of big salmon up there in that pool splashing. We got a little bit of a spill fall here. Looks like a rise of about a meter, maybe 4 feet. And we're approaching high tide. I might get another 2 feet of tide out of it. Oh, here come the bears down to the river to feed at high tide. Baby bears first. Real excited to get down here, I guess. Sounds like a little sheep. And mama bear is gonna follow. I'm across the river from them, which is a good thing. Yeah. Mama bear is still up there. Mama bear, do you see me? Mama bear? Call her back, Mama bear. Thank you. There we go. So I don't want to get between Mama bear and the baby. That's not a good one at all. So I'll back up a bit. I'll take my time. Oh, baby's just curious, and I don't want him over here. I can see Mama just up there in the trees. Let's see how this works. Alright, I moved up away from the bears. And Mama bear is still in the trees. She's cautious about me. And the baby's crying out. It's kind of stuck on a log or something, but I don't want to be in between it. I want to be as far away as possible and run if need to be. So my kayak's about 50 yards downstream, so I have to get that at some point. Alright, a couple of minutes for me. Maybe a half hour. But the baby bear came down first. Mama, 2 cubs, came down out of the trees and came right across that sandbar there. I backed up creek that way about 100 yards, so I wanted to give the baby all kinds of room, and I kept calling. The baby just seemed nearsighted or something. They just don't have any fear. It just kept coming at me, and I could see Mama kind of agitated, swinging back and forth up there in the trees. So I kept backing up, and baby bear came right across this little dam, stepped right over my paddle, and walked right up that little trail there, and then went out on the tree actually and called the mama, and Mama jumped in and swam across, and then another cub came down, jumped in and swam across. So it's my biggest fear is to get between Mama and the cubs. And I think I've seen 5 bears since I landed here a few hours ago. There's bear paddocks everywhere, bear scat. Looks like this is going to be even a little wilder than Kayaking Creek. So I'm just a few hundred yards up from that little weir. That's the last block of the salt water. A few hundred yards up into the regular river, and there's this little peninsula with a little, looks like a blue spruce. And it's got some tall grass around it, but it's beat down. There's some game trail runs right down the edge. There's constantly going to be bears everywhere I go. Back here I've realized, seen so many. But my kayak's just right down there. I'm shuffling stuff. And of course there's more evidence of bear right there. And there's a series of pools just as far as you can go. A lot of fish moving through the shallows, and it just looks idyllic. This is kind of open. You should get some sun, and I should be in plain view and not surprise anybody. Alright, so I've got my little island set up here. A camp, my tent with a big blue spruce, which would be perfect for hanging the food high. And I'm essentially got a little channel that runs around this island. Got some tall sawgrass in the back, which is of course a favorite for black bear to chew on. But they've got a lot of it around. So this is an ideal situation because it gives me a visibility all around. Everybody can see me and I can see everybody, all my brown furry friends, meaning everybody. It's quite shallow right here, so it's not great. Well, it might be good hunting for the bears, I guess, because the fish have to pass through this and it's just several inches deep. Upstream there's a pool full of salmon, just absolutely boiling full of salmon. Downstream there's pools boiling full of salmon, and those pools should hold at high tide or low tide, and it just looks like a lot of fun. It looks pretty open. I don't know if I could drag the boat up there, but I'll hang the food high and I'll tighten up the camp, pack a day pack, and head up into the lake tomorrow. Now I'm just gonna have a nice meal. Alright, well I got my little island set up and I'm hanging food. And I got my first visitor. It didn't take too long. I think this is Mama. I hear the cubbies chirping in the background. They sound like little eagles. She's waiting for them to come across the stream. It's alright, Mama. Oh, she's gonna do the salmon. Get him. Get on him. Holy shit. Oh my god. Nice capture. Well, I don't think my visitors really care whether I'm here or not. Wow. Okay, well, this is my campground. And this is their planet. I just live on it. So, this is where I'm camping.